to Beatrice, Alabama, 36425. We hope everything is going well here, because God is in control. He is always in control. We thank you for being here with us this morning on Good Morning Beatrice, Alabama. We are focusing on voting today. Voting. We want you to make sure that you are registered to vote, that you have did all of the things that you wanted to do to be registered to vote. One of the most important things that you can do right now is to know that it is very important that you make sure that you are registered to vote. And the best thing about that is this. As we prepare to get ready for the November 8th election coming up, it is important that you be registered to vote. Yourself in position to register to vote. Know exactly where your voting place is, what time the polls open, who you're voting for, why you're voting for them, what is about them that meet the needs of you or your community. It is important that you get yourselves ready to vote. We're streaming live here this morning on Facebook, as well as YouTube. And it is important. It is important that you register to vote. We are hesitating here, trying to make sure that we have all the items in lineup that we wanted to place for the broadcast this morning. When we all vote, it has an awesome impact. And guess what? You can volunteer, work together to ensure that everyone understands of their voice and the power of their vote. Sign up to volunteer when we all vote. All you have to do is go to a page there. I have shared it with you. I'm gonna go back to stream live, and we'll close that right there. Let's go back to this right here. I'm going to enter this website. Now, if you are interested in becoming a volunteer, go to this website right here, http://whenweallvote.org. Take action. Now, this take action means that you can volunteer. This take action means you can get yourself ready, make your calendar, and get information that you need. October 28th, National Vote Early Day. October the 28th. October the 28th. October the 28th is the vote early date. October the 28th. Here it is right there. October the 28th of 2022. October the 28th. October the 28th, 2022 is the vote early day. Make your calendar. Plan what you got. November the 7th. November the 1st through the 7th is get out the vote. November the 8th is election day. November the 8th. Some more information for you. It is important. It is important. It is important that you get registered to vote. It is important that you get registered to vote. All this information is important so that you can have yourself in position to vote and have your vote count. October 28th, National Vote Early Day. November the 1st to 7th, get the vote out. November the 8th is election day. Why are we spending so much time on getting registered to vote? Because this is important. Do you know where your polling place is? Do you know where your polling place is? More ways for you to get involved. Step up, become a chapter leader. Are you ready to build your own volunteer team in your community for registered voters? Become a When We Are All Vote chapter leaders, a launch team of volunteers to ensure your community is registered and ready to vote. We're looking for you to do just that. Your vote is important. Become a voter squad captain. What is a voter squad captain? In other words, your job is to make sure the people in your community are registered, have ways to get to the vote poll. In other words, you're a person that's a leader and taking the initiative to make sure people vote. How important it is, why it is important to go. You can become a partner with somebody. What people say. I felt a calling to get all the women on our basketball league to get involved in voting. The women that participated, some from all walks of life, mothers, daughters, sisters, professionals, entrepreneurs, but all friends. We are representative of the country as well as our community, and I know our voices need to be heard. It is important. If you have a young softball league here in Natchez, wherever you are, all of the surrounding communities here in Beatrice, Tunnel Springs, Riley Crossing, Mac William, Monroeville, Hibbert, Excel, Uri, wherever you live, it is important that you get yourself registered and in a position to vote. You can actually take action on what you need to do. And you might want to wonder, why is Freddie Howard up here in Beatrice, Alabama, talking about getting people registered to vote? Because it's important. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap, creating by Michelle Obama. When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire community, family, at every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today's and generations to come. It is important It is so important that you as an individual know how important it is that you vote. It is so important that you know how important it is that you get yourself registered to vote. The entire family, voters of every age, to build and inform and engage electorates for today and generation to come. We empower our supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights and holding their elected officials accountable. You just don't elect somebody to office and just say, go. You constantly check on what they're important, what issues are they fighting for? Are they fighting for an issues that concerns you? When they're fighting for issues that does not concern you and your community. And here's the thing that I need you to understand. You and your community. That's what it's all about. It's not just about you. It's about you and your community. We are just getting started. We are bringing even more people into the voting process because when we all vote, we all do better. When we all vote, we all do better. It is important. Who are some of the people that's working in this organization in which I'm talking about now? The chair of this organization, Michelle Obama, Stephen Curry, Becca G., Saline Gomez, Tom Hanks, her, Janelle Monique, Chris Paul, Megan Ripno, Shonda Prams, Bretman Rock, Kerry Washington, and co-chairs are when all votes are cultural leaders whose talent and experiences span across sports, entertainment. In other words, you cannot sit back anymore. You cannot sit back anymore and talk about your vote don't count. Who are we and what are we about? Who are we and what are we about? Who are we and what are we about? It is important that you know that. You want to find out about this organization? You want to find out about this young organization? When we all vote, when we all vote, it's so important when we all vote. And we hope that you will vote. We hope that you will get yourself in a position to go vote. It is absolutely important that you be a part of and participate. Participate. Um, it is important that you participate. Okay. Let's edit something here right quick. Okay. Got a big capital G on the end of that. Should be a small G. Okay, I got all the messages back here. Okay. Let's talk about Monroe County. Monroe County. Now, as you know, we are in the process of getting ready for October the 20th Sunday now. This coming up Sunday, October the 20th. I want to make sure as I went around here in the studio. I'm going to go to our page here and okay. Before we go into our Facebook page, and it's called let's see here. Here we go. How's things been going for you? We hope. Oh, a shout out to all of the folks that hollered at me for my birthday. God has blessed me to see 76 years, and I'm extremely thankful for that. All right. Monroe County Democrats get out to vote November the 8th, 2022. Re-elect Robert G. Malone, coroner. Experience matters. Confirm you are registered to vote. Confirm your vote place. Make a plan to vote. Absentee or in person. It is important. Also coming up on Wednesday, October the 19th. That's this week. Wednesday, October the 19th. Monroe County Chamber of Commerce. Mayor's Morning of Prayer. Wednesday, October the 9th. The Monroe County Chamber of Commerce. Morning of Prayer. It is important. It is important. It is important. The Monroe County Chamber of Commerce hosts Mayor's Morning of Prayer. Wednesday, October the 19th. That's at the right there in Monroe. We hope you attend that and be a part of that. It is absolutely important that you be a part of that. That's Wednesday. October the okay. We hope you be out there. Wednesday, October the 19th. It's in the morning time, 8 a.m. 8 a.m. in the morning. The okay, let's put that in there. Okay. Let's go back and edit that. Okay. Put that T in there. We're in the studio. Here's the thing about what we're doing here. You know, some people want everything all cut and smooth and clear, but that's good too. But the reality is that we all make mistakes, and I have no problem with when I put something up, if it needs to be corrected, that I correct it. And let's read this fully for you. The Monroe County Chamber of Commerce will host the Mayor's Morning of Prayer on Wednesday, October the 19th at 8 a.m. at the Arthur Lee Biggs Amphitheater. In the event of rain, the service will take place in the courtroom of the Monroe County Museum. Local Monroe County pastors will join in the time of prayer for our schools, students, teachers, and county. Everyone is welcome to attend. Everyone is welcome to attend. We need you to be there. 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 Also, the Monroe County get out to vote. Some people that you need to be thinking about voting for the Senate. Vote restoring power to power, jobs, health care, education. Robert Stewart for Alabama Senate, District 23. Alabama Senate, District 23. Robert Stewart. Your vote is your voice. Your vote is your voice. It is important that you get out and vote. Your vote is your voice. It is absolutely important. It is absolutely that you register to vote. Vote 2022, November 8, 2022. Make sure you are registered to vote. It is important. Make sure you are registered to vote. All right. It is important that you vote. More information for you here. Democratic rallies, join us. Monroe County Democrats are invited to meet us on the square at the amphitheater Sunday, October the 24th. Sunday, October the 24th. Sunday, October the 23rd at 4 p.m. Sunday, October the 24th, 23rd at 4 p.m. Meet our and greet your candidates. Enjoy food, music. Let's make something happen. Democratic rally. Join us. Monroe County Democrats are invited to meet us on the square at the amphitheater Sunday, October the 23rd at 4 p.m. That is Sunday, October the 24th at 4 p.m. Meet and greet. It is important. It is so important that you be there. That you be there. There are some people that are still up. I want to give a shout out to my sister, Miss Willinaire Carter. She says, loves this. It's great. Freddie Howard. God continue blessing today, tomorrow, and always. Amen. Peace. We want to say thanks to Miss Carter. Good morning. Please share. Good morning. Please share. We hope we're asking her to please share. Please share this. God willing. Okay. Let's go back to our Monroe County information here. October 23rd, that's 4 p.m. That's at the amphitheater. Vote blue all the way through. Get out to vote. I will vote. Your vote is your voice. Vote. It is important. More information for you here. It's important that you know these things as well. Representative Thomas C. Jackson is running for House District 68. He's running for House District 68. It's important. It's important that you know who is running for election in your district. It is absolutely important that you know who is running in your district. I am very much an adamant supporter. I am adamant about all right. Do you know who on the ballot? What's on the ballot? We're going to go to a page, and it's called Your Voter's Guide. It's your voter's guide now. And you can go to this page and you can find out who and what is on the ballot. Who and what is on the ballot. Your voter's guide. It is important. It is important. It is important that you know what is on the ballot. All right. We're going to go to that page. We're going to that page now. We're taking the time to get this information out to you. All right. Voter's Guide. On your ballot, Voter's Guide. All right. You go to that page and you enter your address. You enter your address. I'm going to type in my address. P.O. Box 104. P.O. Box 104. Okay. And you can start out by typing in your address. That's just as I'm doing here. P.O. Box 104. P.O. Box 104. Beatrice. 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 Alabama. 36425. Okay. All right. Let's get that out of there. This need to be P.O. Okay. P.O. Box 104. Okay. Type it in. Let's go look for it. I got to enter the zip code. Okay. 36425. Okay, we're going to enter the address there. Let's go to the link that we entered, and it's going to show you all of the information, your voter's guide. Okay? All right, we're going to start with the general election voter's guide. Okay? Now, here are some important things that you need to understand about this election that's coming up. There is a lot of information on the sample ballot. Alabama auditor, Alabama governor, Alabama Public Service Commission, Alabama United States Senator, U.S. House District 1, Alabama Secretary of State, Alabama Public Service Commission, Place 2, Alabama Supreme Court Associate Justice, Place 5, House District 68, Senate District 23, Alabama Treasurer, Alabama Lieutenant Governor, Alabama Statewide Amendment 7, Alabama State Amendment number 8, Alabama Statewide Amendment number 9, Constitution of Alabama 2022, Alabama Statewide Amendment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, Alabama Commission of Agriculture and Industry, Alabama Attorney General. All of these responses are directly candidates and unedited. It is important that you put in your name, address, and zip code. Go to the voter's guide. Now, here is something that I want you to do. Go to the voter's guide. Now, let me go back up here. I want to get something out to you guys are in the United States of America. I don't care where you are, what country, what location you are, wherever you are, you can go to. I'm strolling down now. It's so much information here but I want to make sure that you have the information that you need. Okay, so that you can get the information that you need so that you can vote. Okay, it is absolutely important that you do get the information that you need so that you can vote. All right, the information that I gave you before. Let's go through some of the information in your guide for 25 races. Choose one to get started. Okay. Let's start with the Alabama auditor. The Alabama auditor. Alabama auditor. Okay. The Alabama auditor. Learn more about the candidates. Alabama auditor. The auditor is a state executive position. The Alabama auditor is a state executive position in the Alabama government. She or he is responsible for making a report of all receipts and disbursement of every character of all claims audited and paid out, all taxes and revenues collected. Additionally, the auditor is a track of all states' non-consumable property worth $500 or more and serve on a number of state finance committees. Alabama auditor is elected statewide each midterm election for a 4-year term. The Alabama auditor serves for a 4-year term, limited to 2 terms in office. She or he earns $85,248 a year, must be at least 25 years of age, a U.S. citizen, and 7 years as an Alabama resident. All right. The persons that are running for it: Leon Locaine, Andrew Searle. Information about each candidate. Information about it. It's up to you to select a candidate who you want to run. It is up to you to select a candidate. Let's go back. That was the Alabama auditor. In this election coming up, November the 8th, you're going to be selecting a governor for the state of Alabama. The governor holds the highest state office in Alabama. As the head of the executive branch, the governor is responsible for holding the Alabama Constitution, executive state laws, and provide a state of the state address to the state legislature during each session. The governor is the commander-in-chief of the state's military forces. Other duties include overseeing other states and executive offices and agencies, convening extraordinary sessions of the legislature, presenting a budget for the state to the legislature, enforcing fines and forfeiting, granting, reprieving, paroles, commuting sentences, and pardons, exercising a veto over bills, appointing numerous state offices, boards, and heads of departments, sometimes with Senate approval. The governor is elected statewide in each midterm election for a 4-year term and is limited to 2 consecutive terms. He or she earns $119,000, $119,950 a year, $119,000 a year, plus at least 30 years of age. You must be at least 30 years of age, or he must be 30 years of age when elected to the and be a U.S. citizen for 10 years. Be a U.S. citizen for 10 years. All right, who's running? James Jimmy Blake, Yolanda Rochelle Flowers, and Kay Ivey. Those are the 3 names that they show here. Those are the 4 names that they show here. Now, do you know somebody else that's voting? They should have made sure their information is here, because this is where a lot of people are going to be going. All right? Okay? All right. Public Service Commission, Alabama. Public Service Commission, place 1. The Public Service Commission is an elected agency of the Alabama state government responsible for regulating the state's utility companies, your power company, your gas company, your water companies. This mission is to ensure a regulatory balance between regulated companies and consumers with safe, adequate, and reliable services at rates that are equitable and economical. It is comprised of 3 members overseeing Alabama electric, gas, and water, railroad, telecommunication companies. Public Service Commission, place 1. Ron Bishop is running for it. Jeremy H. Oden, a Republican. Ron Bishop is also running. All right. You choose one. You can find out about the candidate, their positions on everything. You can actually find out this information. All right, let's go back and go to the next one. Alabama, United States Senator. Alabama, United States Senator. A U.S. Senator represents the whole state and serves a 6-year term. Duties include passing laws, including the budget, confirming presidential appointments, for example, department heads, ambassadors, Supreme Court justice, and federal judges, approving treaties, conducting impeachment trials, or government officials impeached by the House of Representatives, assisting Constitution and state government officials with problems involving their interaction with federal executive agencies, working on multiple Senate committees that assist in writing laws and overseeing executive agencies, operations, and policy action. Senators must be 30 years old before being sworn into the office inside the state that they represent and have a U.S. citizenship for 9 years prior to campaigning for the office. The annual salary of a U.S. Senator is approximately $174,000 a year. For the state of Alabama, United States Senators that are running for the Senate, William Katie Bright and John Sophie Curtis. It is important that you, as a representative of this state, Robert Stewart from Alabama, Senate District 23 is running. That's the thing that I don't like about a number of our black candidates. And it's just the truth. I'm not hiding anything here. When this information here is posted, Alabama United States Senator. Now, some of this information, this is a local Alabama Senate, Alabama United States Senator. What is an Alabama United States Senator? How important is it? Should be important enough that you put down the information about yourself, whatever position you're running for. You got nothing to hide. All right. All right, U.S. House District 1. The U.S. House District 1. All right. Who is running for the office? Jerry Carroll. Jerry Carroll is a Republican. Alexander M. Rimmery. He's a Libertarian. Those are the people that are running. Let's go back. Okay. We're moving right along. It's a lot to cover here. Alabama Secretary of State. Who is running for the Alabama Secretary of State for the state of Alabama? The Secretary of State is chief election official for Alabama. He or she is responsible for certifying vote totals, ballots, fundraising records, business registration, and keeping the state government official documents and public records. Alabama Secretary of State elected statewide each midterm election for a 4-year term, limited to 2 consecutive terms. He or she earns $85,248 a year, must be at least 25 years of age, and a citizen for 7 years, and an Alabama resident for 5 years. Allen is a Republican. Pamela J. Lafferty is a Democrat. Jason Matt Shelby, he's got an L, I reckon that's Libertarian, I guess. I don't know what the L stands for. Let's see, what can I find out about him? Jason Matt Shelby, candidate has not yet responded. Okay. Let's see about Miss Pamela. This is for the Alabama State Secretary of State. She lives in Mobile, Alabama. She's got a website. How have your training and professional experience in this prepare you to serve as Secretary of State? And this is what she says. This is the Democrat that's running for the Alabama Secretary of State. I will be the constituents' effective voice for Secretary of State for Alabama. I have experience as an administrative support professional and the experience working in a fast-paced and challenging environment, demanding strong organizational, technical, and interpersonal skills while working under command and support groups. It is important that you know who the candidates are. Pamela J. Lafferty, a Democrat. Let's go back and take another look. We went through 6 of the 25. All right. This is the Alabama Public Service Commission for place number 2. Alabama Public Service Commission, place number 2. Alabama Public Service Commission is elected an official of the Alabama state government responsible for regulating state utilities and companies. There's different places in different parts of the state. Place 1, this is place 2. That covers electricity, gas, water, railroads, telecommunication companies. That's what the Public Service Commissioner do. They're responsible for regulating the state's utilities companies. What's a utility? Your water, your railroads, your gas company, your local electric companies. The additional duties include setting rates and approving rate changes, as well as interstate and interstate transportation companies that do business in Alabama. In other words, companies that are traveling through Alabama doing business on the way to someplace else. It is their responsibility. The Public Service Commission's job is to make sure that those regulations and things governing that people coming through the state doing business in the state of Alabama is right, and the right people are charged. Say, for instance, if your light bill go up to so high that you can't afford it, and it is well in your community, a member of old folks and a lot of folks who just can't afford it, maybe don't have the money, whatever the reason is. If you believe that's a problem, go to the Alabama Public Service Commission. These rates are too high. It's up to you to do something about it. Don't sit around talking about they're going to do what they want to. Okay, the people that's running for Public Service Commission in place 2, Chip Becker, he's a Republican, and Laura Lang. Okay, a lot of it is important. Candidate has not yet responded. If you don't know nothing about the candidate, how are you going to vote for them? The candidates need to respond. All right, let's go back. We went through 7 of the 25 positions that are available for voting here in the state of Alabama on November the 8th. All right. That was for Public Service Commissioner, place 2. Alabama Supreme Court Associate Justice, place 5. Alabama Supreme Court Associate Justice. It'd be interesting to see. You want to find out who is on the Alabama Supreme Court? Google it. Who is on the Alabama Supreme Court? Who is on the Alabama Supreme Court? You want to know? Find out. Don't wait for somebody to tell you. Find out for yourself. The Alabama Supreme Court has both judicial and administrative duties. Its justices serve the term of 6 years and earn a salary of $163,601 to $205,501 a year, depending on the year of service. The court, they review decisions made by other state courts. Here's new cases specifically designated to them, like appeals, a public service commission decision, makes administrative rule system. In order to become the person must be a state assistant for at least 1 year, have been admitted to the Alabama bar, have practiced law for 10 years, and be less than 70 years of age at the time of the election. Who is running for the Alabama Supreme Court Associate Justice place number 5 in Alabama? That's going to be on the ballot November the 8th. It's going to be Greg Cook, a Republican. Anita L. Kelly, a Democrat. You want to find out about him? Greg Cook candidate has not yet responded. Anita Kelly candidate has not yet responded. If you don't know nothing about the candidate, how you going to vote for him? Let's go back. House District 68. House District 68. All right. Alabama Supreme Court was the last thing that we touched on. Next would be Senate District 23, but now, this is House District 68. House District 68. Thomas E. Action Jackson is running for that House seat. Fred Kelly is running for that House seat. Get in touch with the candidates and find out what you want to know about them. House District 68. All right. Let's go to Senate District 23. Senate District 23. Senate District 23. Nimmer, a Republican, is running for that. Portia Shepard, a Libertarian, is running for that seat. And Robert Stewart, a Democrat, is running for that seat. That's Senate District 23. All right. Alabama Treasurer. The Alabama Treasurer. What does the Alabama Treasurer do? The Treasurer is the Chief Financial Officer for Alabama. He or she is responsible for receiving funds, fees, and payments, managing state investment funds, overseeing the network of private banks and state that does business within the operating borders of the Alabama, unclaimed property funds, and issuing state bonds. Alabama Treasurer is elected statewide for a year or 4-year terms, limited to consecutive terms. He or she earns $85,248 a year. They must be at least be 25 years of age, a U.S. citizen for 7 years, and an Alabama resident for 5 years. Who is running for Alabama Treasurer? Young Boozer. She's a representative. Scott Hammond is also running. He's got an L out about his name. Candidates hasn't submitted information on their positions. Okay. It is important. It is important that you know what and who is running. All right. The next office is the Lieutenant Governor. Alabama Lieutenant Governor. What is the Lieutenant Governor? What does the Lieutenant Governor do? What does the Lieutenant Governor do? The Lieutenant Governor is the second highest state office in Alabama, other than the governor. The Lieutenant Governor acts as president of the Alabama Senate, enabling him or her to appoint members and chairs of committees and determine which consider new legislation. Other duties include service as the final level of appointment in the Administrative Procedure Act, represented the state on many committees and boards, as more than 20 different boards, appoints 400 positions to approximately 167 boards and commissions. They have a lot of work to do. The lieutenant governor is elected statewide midterm election for a 4-year term and is limited to 2 consecutive terms. They earn $60,000, $830 a year. Must be at least 30 years old, a U.S. citizen for 10 years, and a resident of the state of Alabama at least 7 years. He or she may not hold any federal or state office in Alabama concurrently with the governor's national term. Who's running? Will Amesworth, a Republican. Ruth Page Nelson is also running. All right. Alabama statewide amendments. There is a lot of amendments on this election. Now, don't go into that ballot box and you don't know about these amendments. You want to know about these amendments, you go to this website, Voter 401. Now, all this information that I'm giving out is for me specifically. This is based on my information that I put in. This is the voter guide. This right here, I'm going to post this here for you. This is the voter guide for 36425. This is the voter guide for 36425. All right. I'm going to post this. I'm going to go to comments. Voter guide for zip code voter guide for zip code. I have to wait for it to load. Voter guide for three, 6, 4, 2, 5. That's the thing about the internet and putting down information. It takes time for these things to load. Voter guide. Voter guide. Okay. Let's see, can we paste it? Voter guide for 36425. That information. We're posting that information and we're putting it out there for you. Your personalized ballot. That's what we're reading from. The personalized ballot for me, Freddie C. Howard. We're in number 13 on this list of 25 items on the voter. This is Alabama statewide amendment number 7. Ballot of statewide for amendment number 7. Statement from the Office of Alabama Secretary of State. The text of the statewide ballot measures include sponsors, co-sponsors, and the text of the question that will appear on the statewide ballot. And here it is. Proposed by Act number 2022-286, House Bill 458, 2022, regular legislative session. Bill sponsor is Representative Soros, proposing an amendment to revise Amendment 772 to the Constitution of Alabama of 1901 as amended to be specifically that all counties and municipalities may exercise the authority and power granted by Amendment 772 to provide for economic and industrial development, to make notice of Amendment 772 for projects to be published in any newspaper in the circulation in the county or municipality, and to ratify all actions and agreements in any county or municipal policy done under the Amendment 772, unless subject to pending judicial proceedings on the state adoption of this amendment posed by Act 22. This description shall be followed by the following language: yes or no. What about this? What does the amendment do? That anything that's taking place in the county that it be posted in the newspaper. A summary of the text explaining the placement of the statewide ballot measure on the statewide ballot. A plain language summary of the statewide ballot measure, which shall include a minimum, the legal or constitutional authority for its passage. The effect of the statewide ballot measure is passed. Currently, the Alabama Constitution provides that some counties and cities, towns may use public funds to sell public property, lend their credit, or become indebted for economic development purposes. Monroe County is very much in need of economic development. Beatrice, Lord have mercy, is in need of infrastructure development, economic development, businesses. It is important that you know what is on this ballot. Amendment number 7. What is it supposed? Specific that all counties and municipalities may exercise the authority and power granted by Amendment 772 to provide for economic and industrial development. That's what Amendment 7 says. Economic development and industrial development. They permit notice to amend 772 to be published in any newspaper in circulation in the county and responsibility, and to ratify all actions and agreement in any county municipality done under Amendment 772. That is important, guys. That's to bring business to your community and post it in the newspaper. Amendment 7. All right. Next would be Alabama statewide amendment number 8. Alabama statewide amendment 7, 8, and onward. All right. Statement from the Office of Alabama Secretary of State. Proposed by Act number 2021-199, Senate Bill 74, 2021, regular session. Bill sponsor Senator Wagner, relating to Shelby County, proposing an amendment to the Constitution of Alabama 1901 to bring certain privately owned sewer systems that use public rights away public roads under the jurisdiction of Public Service Commission under certain conditions, proposed by Act 2021-199. This description shall be followed by the following language. You should vote yes or no on it. Listen. Proposed for Act number 21, Senate Bill 74. All right. This is related to Shelby County. Shelby County. All right. It's a statewide amendment. Statewide. Okay. Let's go to amendment number 9. Statewide amendment number 9. Alabama statewide amendment number 9. Proposed in Act number 2021-199, Senate Bill 74, 2021, regulatory legislative session. Bill sponsors relating to Shelby County proposing an amendment to the Constitution of Alabama to bring certain privately owned sewer systems that use public right-of-way or public roads under the jurisdiction of the Public Service Commission. What is the Service Commission? We talked about the Public Service Commission earlier. The Public Service Commission regulates your lights, electricity, your water. They regulate the things, interstate transportation. That's the Public Service Commissioner's job. Under the jurisdiction of the Public Service Commission. All right. That's statewide amendment number 8. Statewide amendment number 8. And you are to vote yes or no on this amendment. All right. Let's go to Alabama Constitution Amendment. Alabama Constitution Amendment. All right. All right, here we go. It is important that you know Alabama statewide amendment number 9. It is important that you know. That's the one we just left. Okay, Alabama voters have the opportunity to vote on a reorganizing state constitution at the November 8th general election. Alabama current constitution has been in effect since 1901. This is 2022. It contains outdated language, has been amended nearly 1,000 times. If approved, the reorganization state constitution will title the Constitution Alabama Amendment of 2022. Is that clear? Alabama needs to bring up its constitution updated. The Alabama Constitution that still guides Alabama is from 1901 and it's outdated. Alabama Constitution Amendment number 1. Alabama voters will have the opportunity to vote on a reorganized state constitution at the November 8th, 22 midterm election. General election. Alabama current constitution has been in effect since 1901. It contains outdated language and has amended nearly 100 times. This proves the reorganized state constitution will be titled the Constitution of Alabama. In 2022, all members of the legislature agreed to this proposed reorganizing constitution and put it on the ballot for the voters to consider. Listen, this is a statewide. Let's go back just for a minute. The Constitution of Alabama. Constitution of Alabama. This is to bring it up to date. This is to bring it up to date. Okay. Okay. This is important that you vote for this amendment here. I'm going to post this. I'm going to post this for you. It is important. I'm posting it for you to read. God willing, it'll go through. Right now it's not going through. We're going to try it again. There it is. Alabama voters will have their opportunities to vote on a reorganized state constitution at the November 8, 2022 general election. Alabama's current constitution has been in effect since 1901. It contains outdated language and has been amended nearly 1,000 times. If approved, the reorganized state constitution will be titled the Constitution of Alabama of 2022. And let me say this. I'm going to put down at the bottom of this one, I'm going to put down there, let me edit this. I'm going to edit this. Edit. All right. Let me put it down here. I'm putting down here for you. Please vote yes. Please vote yes. That's from me, Freddie Howard. I'm going to vote yes for that. I'm just telling you now. Okay. All right. Next one. Alabama statewide amendment number 1. Alabama statewide amendment number 1. Proposed Act number 2021, House Bill 131, 221, regular legislative session. Bill sponsors Representative Brown. Co-sponsors Representative Wilcox, Laverne, Estate, Oliver, Robinson, Simpson, Sell. All right. Proposed amendment for Section 16 of the Constitution of Alabama of 1901, now appearing in Section 18 of the official recompilation of the Constitution of Alabama 1901 as amended to create an law to provide that an individual is entitled to reasonable bail prior to conviction unless charged with capital murder, kidnapping in the first degree, rape in the first degree, sodomy in the first degree, sexual torture, domestic violence, and first degree human trafficking in the first degree, burglary in the first degree, arson, first degree robbery, first degree terrorism when specific offense is a class felony other than murder, and aggravated child abuse or child under the age of 6, sex under the age of 6, child abuse of a child under the age of 6. The purpose of this amendment, statewide amendment number 1, is specifically to set bail, purpose of the amendment now appearing in Section 16, to create a NIA's law to provide that an individual is entitled to reasonable bail prior to conviction. That means some cases that you go to, the bail can be set as high as they want to. Then in some cases, according to the NIA law, to provide an individual entitled to reasonable bail prior to conviction. Okay? Let's go back here. We're going to look up NIA's law. Let's copy that. We're going to copy that. Okay, let's close that. Let's go to our, we're going to go to Google and we're going to paste this in. What is NIA's law? Google search. A now law will give judges the choice to deny bail to people accused of violent crimes. That is it in clear and precise language. A Nias law will give judges the choice to deny bail to people. Okay? Let's look at that. Putting a Nias law on the ballot. Governor I made sure that. What do you know about that? It is important that you know. Okay, it is important. Alabama lawmakers approve a constitutional amendment called Ania's Law that will allow judges to deny bail to violent offenders. Now you know. Now you know. Okay, let's go back. That's number 17 of 25 public items that are on your November 8th election ballot. I'm telling you, people, you really need to know this. Okay, Alabama statewide amendment number 2. Alabama statewide amendment number 2. Proposing amendment to the Constitution of Alabama of 1901 to authorize the state and counties or a municipality to grant federal awards, funds, or any other source of funding designed for broadband infrastructure by state law to public or private entities for providing expanded broadband infrastructure. That is to address the sorry internet throughout Alabama. It is to address the sorry internet service here in Beatrice, Riley Crossing, McReed, and throughout the state of Alabama. Alabama has the poorest internet service I hear. For me to operate the radio, a lot of times I be interviewing people from Africa or from California or New York or sometime right next door, and the internet go out all the time. On Sunday nights when I'm recording and mixing the night service of sound, the old ship of Zion from over there in Thompsonville, internet quits 4 and 5 times. Last week, the internet stopped about 10 or 12 times. Do you know how much editing that takes when the internet be quitting? Proposed amendment number 2. This is what this is for. I'm going to post this one. Okay? I'm going to post this one. This one is important. It's for internet. It is for the internet. You see how long it's going to take it to go through? We're working on it. We've been on about an hour and a half here now. Let's try it again. See what I'm talking about? Right now, I'm trying to just post this bill on Facebook from right here in Beatrice, Alabama. I'm just trying to post it. And it's not going through. That's because of the internet. Here we go again. We're going to try it again. There it is. Proposed Act Number 2022-117, House Bill 255-22, regular legislative session. Bill sponsor Representative Shred. Proposed an amendment to the Constitution of Alabama of 1901 to authorize the state, a county, or a municipality to grant federal award fund or any other source of funding designated for broadband infrastructure by state law to public or private entities for providing expanded broadband infrastructure. That is to award to somebody that's going to put down lines and poles of antennas or whatever it takes to improve the internet broadband here in the state of Alabama. Now, if you got somebody running for public office in any Senate, House, district, and they don't favor this, you need to get rid of them because they don't know what they're doing at all. Everybody that's alive know that the internet is the sorriest internet in the United States. It's in Alabama. And it's all across the United States, too. Alabama ain't the only one, but Alabama is really sorry for internet broadband service. I'm telling you now, vote yes on this one. Let me make a comment here. I'm telling you, it is important you vote yes. I'm telling you, P-L-E-A-S-E. See how you want it, I'm trying to get that in, and it won't even let me put it in yet because of the internet service. All right. Please vote I-E-S. Yes. Please vote yes. There it is. Please vote yes on that one. All right, let's go to the next one. Statewide Amendment number 3. Statewide Amendment number 3. Statewide Amendment number 3. These are statewide amendments now. In other words, for the whole state of Alabama. The ones that we've been reading off in the last. Some of them are designated specifically for certain areas of the state, but they are all a statewide amendment. This is statewide amendment number 3. Proposed Act Number 2022-256, Senate Senate, Legislative Session, Bill sponsor Irvington, co-sponsor Senator Given. It's giving the people to sponsor. All right, let's see what it does. The amendment to the Constitution of 1901 to require the government to provide notice to the attorney and to victims' family for reprieve or communicating to a person sentenced to death, and to avoid the reprieve or communication if the governor fails to provide notice. Proposed act. This prescription shall be followed by. All right, now what does this do? Pay attention. The bill specifically to require the governor to provide notice to the attorney general and to the victim's family prior to granting a reprieve or commutation, in other words, commuting a person's sentences to a person sentenced to death. If a person has been sentenced to death, this statewide amendment number 3 wants, before that person's sentence is commuted or given a reprieve for a death sentence, that the state attorney general know it, and the person family that was killed in the crime. They got to be notified. What is your position on this? Is that a yes or no? How do you feel about that? somebody is killed in your family and the person gets sentenced to death row and placed on death row at a penal system in the state of Alabama, and their sentence gets overturned or whatever through the court system or legal system, whatever, and if the law says they didn't do it, absolutely didn't do it, and the trial goes forward and they are found not guilty of a crime they committed, guess what? You got to notify the state attorney general. You see what I'm getting at? How do you feel about that? That means it goes back to you, the person that had somebody killed or murdered or whatever way you want to call it, cause a member of your family to lose their life. That calls for you to have in your heart the heart to forgive them people. Or if you don't want to forgive them, you want somebody to tell you, look, they're commuting Joe Blow's sentence. He killed your daughter, blah, blah, whatever. You're going to know when that comes up. How do you feel about that? State Amendment number 3. Attorney General has been notified that the sentence has been commuted or they have been relieved, as well as the immediate family. Let's go to Amendment number 4. Now, this is number 20. We got 5 more to go. Statewide Amendment number 4. Proposed Act number 2021-8284, House Bill 388-202, regular session. All right, what does this bill particularly do? Proposed an amendment to the Constitution of Alabama 1901 as amendment to provide that the implementation date of any bill enacted by the legislature in a calendar year in which a general election is to be held and relating to the conduct of the statewide election shall be at least 6 months before the general election. In other words, give you time to read it. Proposed Act 2021-284. Description shall be followed by a yes or no vote. That's reasonable, I think. You just don't put something on there and get it done all ready to be voted for, and you don't give the people the time to look at it and read it. I think that's reasonable. 6 months. That give you a half a year to find out what the amendments is all about and what your political senator or representative is thinking about the amendment. Did they help put that amendment forward? What? That's a good one. I think that's good. Okay, let's go to amendment number 5. Amendment number 5. We're in the progress of number 21 of 25 items on your ballot for November the 8th. 25. That's just for 36425 down here in Beatrice, our area, Monroe, Tony Springs, Riley Cross, and Mac William. Statewide Amendment number 5. Proposed Act number 2021-2022, Senate Bill 68. This is in the regular session. Bill sponsored by Senator Bradford, proposing to the Constitution of Alabama of 1901 to delete a provision giving the probate court of each county general jurisdiction over orphaning businesses. Proposed by Act 2021. This description shall be the following. What is an orphaning business? Jurisdiction over orphaning business. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that means? Let's look that up. The jurisdiction. Given the probate court of each county general jurisdiction over orphanage business. General jurisdiction over orphanage business. Let's find out what that is. Let's go here. We're going to type it into Google. We're going to see what it means. Okay. Insurance jurisdictional orphanage business. Amendment number 5, remove orphanage business form. County probate courts would continue to be responsible for adopting, guardianship, and granting letters of testimony of how the measure gets on. HBL 2020 amendment. Let's check that out. If you're going to be required by a yes or no vote. Let's check that out. Amendment 5, remove orphanage business from probate court jurisdictions amendment. Overview, what would this amendment do? Amendment 5 would remove orphanage business from the jurisdiction, orphanage business, probate court, okay? It is important that you find out this information about what is taking place and how you need to vote. What would this amendment do? Amendment 5 would remove orphanage business from the jurisdiction of the county probate court. County probate courts would continue to be responsible for adoptions, guardianship, and granting letters of testimony. How did this measure get on the ballot? Alabama House Constitutional Amendment must be passed by 60%, okay? The amendment was passed by the Senate by a vote of 28-0. 6 senators voted pass of February 11, 21. The measure was passed in the House April 21st by a vote of 90-0. 13 represented, okay? Ballot. Orphanage business will be removed from the Alabama Constitution and measure voter and vote of yes or no to do this. Opposition. Probate Court of Alabama. There are 68 probate courts and judges in Alabama. Although Alabama has 67 counties, the Alabama legislature created second probate judge's position for Jefferson County in 1980. And it is important that you know what is taking place, how to cast a vote. You when you go to the polls on November 8th, Alabama Amendment 5, remove orphans business from court jurisdiction amendment for 2022. Know about it. Know about it. Okay. Let's go to amendment number 6. Amendment number 6. This is number 22 of 25 voting items on your November 8th ballot. Alabama statewide amendment number 6. What does this amendment number 6 do? What do you need to know about it? Proposed Act number 2021-327, House Bill 178, 2021, regular legislative session. Bill sponsor, Representative Ball, proposed an amendment to the Constitution of Alabama of 1901. An amended each municipality authorized on amendment number 8 to the Constitution of Alabama, now appearing in 216.1 of the recomplied Constitution of Alabama of 1901 as amended to levy and collect an ad valorem tax pursuant to the amendment number 8 for the purpose of paying bonds and interest thereon may of levy and collect such ad valorem taxes and uses such as funds for capital improvement or pay-as-you-go basic at rate and excessive rate that lawfully permitted the municipality to directly pay the cost of public capital improvement, as well as pay for principal and interest on bonds, warrants, and other securities issued to finance or refinance the cost of improvements and ratify, validate, confirm, and levy and collection of such tax collection that collected for any of these purposes prior to the ratification of this amendment proposed by Act 2021-20. This description shall be followed by the language of a yes or no. All that I just got through read means what? What does it mean? Authorized on amendment number 8 to the Constitution of Alabama, 1901. What does it mean? What does it mean? The amendment provides that cities, towns, and already allowed to collect a specific property tax may use these tax dollars to a directly pay-as-you-go for constructional projects instead of going into debt if the majority of the voters vote yes on Amendment 6. Pay-as-you-go will be allowed. If the majority of the voters vote no on Amendment Pay-as-you-go will not. There are no costs to Amendment 6. The constitutional authority for the passage of Amendment 6 is set forth in accordance with Sections 284, 285, and 287 of the Constitution of Alabama. These sections outline the method to constitute amendment may be put on people of the state for a vote. What does it mean? When cities and counties and municipalities are making improvements to their infrastructure, whatever they're doing, a lot of times they don't have the money. And I wouldn't advise any city or municipality to go into a construction project and you ain't got money to complete the infrastructure. Say, for instance, if you're putting down broadband and you ain't got enough money to hire a reputable company to put the broadband up or towers or whatever it is to include the infrastructure, don't go into that and you ain't got no money to pay for it. But there's a way of pay as you go. That's okay. You got to have a sure thing coming in. Just like me and you making a bill and we ain't got no job to get no money to pay the bill. You don't go buy a car and you ain't got no money, no job to get no money to pay for the car. You don't go buy a car and saying, hoping I'm going to get the money to pay the bill. Municipalities and cities and municipalities across this country have sources of money coming in. Pull money from a bank account that you know is viable, and you can pay for that construction of municipality or what you want to do to improve your city. You want to put down sewer lines for 150 miles or how many miles you want to put it down in your city area, in your government area, then if you got the money to do it, do it. Or go borrow the money. Either way, don't go start no project and you got no money to pay for it. This amendment calls for a yes or no vote. Calls for a yes or no vote. Alabama Statewide Amendment 6. This is a pay-as-you-go. All right, let's go to amendment number 10. Amendment number 10, statewide amendment number 10, 23. We got two more to go. What is this amendment? All right. To authorize the Code Commission contingent upon the ratification of an official Constitution Amendment 20 to renumber and place amendments ratified before on the same day as the Constitution and a logical sequences and particular subject topic of the amendment, and to provide for the transfer of existing annotations and any sections of the Constitution of Alabama 1901 to the section as is numbered or returned to the Constitution Amendment Alabama 22. In other words, we talked about before, the Alabama Constitution is outdated. It's 1901. A lot of it is outdated and stuff. Okay, since if that is approved, that you change the amendment from 1901 to Alabama Amendments 2022, Alabama Constitution 2022, that means you number these Constitution and things inside the Constitution in a logical order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or with titles in the appropriate way as well. In an order. That's all that is, putting this stuff in order. That makes sense. If you're going to change the Constitution from 1901 and bring it up to date to the Constitution of Alabama 2022, you got to put it in order. That just makes sense, guys. That just makes sense. You know that's a yes vote. Okay, let's go to the Alabama Commission of Agriculture and Industry. This is amendment number 20. We're on amendment number 24. Alabama Commission of Agriculture and Industry. The Commission of the Department of Agriculture and Industry is a state executive position in the Alabama government. He or she oversees the Department of Agriculture and Industries, which provides and promotes and regulates agriculture and industry activity in the state. Alabama law directs the commission to take a special interest in the promotion of industries in the smaller municipalities and rural communities of the state. That is so true. That is absolutely needed. Additional specific duties for the Department of Agriculture and Industries include providing marketing and outreach services to boost agriculture production, mediating between Alabama farmers and creditors and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The commissioner is elected to a four-year term, limited to 2 terms consecutively. She or she earns $85,248 a year, must be at least 25 years of age, and a citizen for 7 years, and an Alabama resident for 5. Important. Candidates: Alabama Commissioner of Agriculture, Jason Clark and Rick Pate. They don't have any information about their positions on anything. All right. Attorney General. This is the last one, guys. Alabama Attorney General. We went through all 25 of them. We went through all 25 of them. Okay, Alabama Attorney General. The Alabama Attorney General is a chief lawyer and chief law enforcement officer of Alabama. He or she defends the state laws, acts as the lawyer for the state officials, and represent the state in court of law or tribunals. The Attorney General also advises local and state governments, including the state legislature, on matters of constitutionality or proposed laws and regulations. Furthermore, he or she may be in civil or criminal court actions on behalf of the state. They can bring civil or criminal actions on behalf of the state to either protect state interests or to enforce state law. The term during election statewide for a term of 4 years, and it is limited to 2 terms consecutively, and annual salary of $89,561.28. A candidate for Alabama Secretary of State must be at least 25 years of age, a U.S. citizen, 7 years old, and an Alabama resident for 5 years. Who would be Alabama's Attorney General? Wendell Majors is a Democratic, and Steve Marshall, a Republican. They don't have no information about this. You are to select one of them candidates. That is all 25 items. That is all of the 25 items on this voter guide. It's all right there for you. Okay? We thank you for being here with us as we go over this information. Voter guide of them. And we thank you for bearing with us as we went through all 25 of them. So you should know, have some idea of what is on the ballot. There's 25 items on there. So you really need to make yourself aware of what's on your voter guide. There's a lot of information on there. That really need to be a way of disseminating all of this information to the voters. And see, guess what? Some people are going to go through every one of them. That means when you go in the poll to vote this time, it's going to take you time just to go through all of the ballots information. You're going to take time. Don't go in there just checking stuff off. You need to know something about an amendment. Call somebody. Ask them about it before the election. Ask somebody before the election. Okay? Your guide has 25 races. Choose one to get started. That's for 36425. Voter guide. Let's do this. There are all 25 of them. We're going to copy that. Copy. We're going to go to our Facebook page. And we're going to put in, God willing, all 25. All 25. All 25 of these items on your November the 8th ballot. And you're going to take time. It's going to take time. It is going to take time for you when you go to the poll to vote. We're going to keep trying until it goes through. We're in the studios here at 231 6th Avenue here in Beatrice, Alabama. And what we are covering is the ballot for 36425, which is my zip code. And what's on my ballot? What is on my ballot? There is 25 measures on that ballot. That include Senate race for District 73, a House of Representative race in District 68, the governors, and many other amendments. Many other amendments. Okay. I'm going to go over to Monroe County. Let's see, can we post it here? There they are. Voter guide. For zip code 36425. Voter guide for zip code 36425. There it is. We are tagging family members and people that we know. This is the voter guide. All right, Gwen. All right, now we're going to go ahead and share it. We actually thank all of you that have been a part of this live broadcast here this morning. As we get ready to leave you, it is 15 minutes after 2. All of these items are on the ballot. That's a lot of stuff. Your voter guide has 25 races. Choose one to get started. Okay. We hope everything is going well for you as we are getting information here for voter guide. All right. All you got to do is put your address in now. We hope you do just that. We want to thank everybody for staying with us tonight. We've been on an hour and nearly 2 hours, and we thank you for taking an interest in this election. When we all vote, it is important that you go out and you vote. It is important that you go out and you vote. Let us pray. Our Father and Savior Jesus Christ, a merciful and kind Father, it is our responsibilities as a citizen of this country we call the United States of America, the state we call Alabama, our local community we call Beatrice, and for us as citizens of this nation to be aware and take part in the running and voting in the election of officers to run this state. Thank you, Jesus, for that opportunity and have the information at my hand that I've been able to share with the voters of Alabama, of Beatrice, in this community. Give them the wisdom and the knowledge to know that it is their responsibility to know who the candidates is and what those candidates stand for. Not the candidates. The candidates' responsibility is to get that information out if they want to. They don't have to post that information, but you and I, as a voter, is our responsibility to find out what that candidate's position is. His responsibility rests on you and I. These are many blessings we ask in our Son Jesus' name. Be with us and guide us. Amen. As we go to the poll and vote, are prepared to vote on November the 8th. This ballot has 25 actions that need to be taken by the individual voter. And some, Lord, will not know what to do, how to vote. But the information is here if they want. Thank you, Jesus. And guide us. We'll see you next time, God willing, on Howcee Production Gospel Internet Radio, located at 231 6th Avenue, here in Beatrice, Alabama, 36425. God bless you. And we'll see you next time, God willing. Take care now. Let's go to the other platform and end that stream. Let's restream.